my name is Yelena Martinez, and I'm a sophomore here at UNCG. My major is social work with a minor in peace and conflict studies. Um, with my degree, I want to work with kids and child welfare. So basically, I want to make sure that children have a safe and loving home, and if they do not, then try my best to make it that way so that they're safe. Um, yeah. And then I also want to assist the children through their hardships. Um, and I also want to maybe go back to school at some point after getting my bachelor's in social work, to pursue an elementary education career. Um, but yeah, something I would like to share is that I'm actually in a sorority on campus, which is called Tri Sigma. I really like it so far, and I'm really glad that I joined. I really like all the aspects of it, from the philanthropy to the connections that I've made throughout my time so far. And yeah, so as a side note, though, I really want to suggest, if anyone was thinking about going Greek, you should do it. It's really fun. But yeah, but how I would define violence is purposeful and accidental harm, whether it be physical, verbal, or psychological, to any being or thing. I think that violence is still violence, whether it is on purpose or accidental, because although someone may not mean for something to be harmful or to harm someone, um, the damage is still done, and the harm is still present um, within the victim. So it's still violence. Um, but I'm interested in learning more about why there is violence within communities of the same backgrounds, expectations set by that community. Um, Therefore, people in that community feel like they need to fit into a box to be considered enough or a part of the community. For example, I'm Hispanic and my dad is Mexican, so from our um, experiences, from what I've seen and stuff, um, there is judgment within the community, within the Mexican community. Um, you can't look too light and you can't look too dark. Um, so yeah. And if you're from the US and visit Mexico, then you're sometimes criticized for being too whitewashed or not Mexican enough. Um, but if you're from Mexico and visit the US, then you're not American enough. And yeah, that's just one example of many that I want to look more into and try to understand. Um, yeah. But what I think causes this type of violence within the Mexican community is probably jealousy on both ends. I think this because for lighter toned Mexicans, they can be considered, sometimes be considered or mistaken for just white, and then given privilege because of that in the US at least. Um, and yeah, so for darker toned Mexicans though, they are considered kind of more Mexican in a way, than lighter toned Mexicans. And for Mexicans living in America or born here, they have more opportunities than Mexicans in Mexico. So therefore, the community in Mexico might show the jealousy about that, um, in a way. So yeah, that judgment kind of passes on to Mexicans in America and living their lives here. But and then on the other end, Mexican Americans might sometimes feel disconnected to or from their roots and show a bit of envy because of that. Um, but yeah, so that was my definition and explanation of how I define violence. And yeah, So thank you for your time, and I hope everyone has a great week. And I'm super excited about this class.